Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say, oh, praise H.O.I. This is Brother Ahrayah from H.O.I, known as House of Israel, New York City. So, coming in with a lesson today, it's going to be about a breakdown of Deuteronomy chapter 28 in the Bible. So, if people don't know what's going on right now, the word is going into chaos. It's about to be National Guards all over the place, martial law, and it's going to be a lot of people that's going to wake up at these last seconds, because these are known as the last days. And God's chosen people, who are the Israelites, are going to be rescued out of their captivity, which is known as Egypt today. That is America. So for the meantime, I'm going to start with the basics, which are basic lessons that we call like the milks of the scriptures. So if people see this is known as the 12 tribes chart, and they have the true nationalities, the so-called black and Hispanic and Native American man, women, and children. So on the right side, it shows the slave names that we were given, which is Negroes, West Indian, Haitian, Dominican, Guatemalan, and Panamanian, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Native Indian, Seminole Indians, Argentinian, Colombian, and Mexicans. And on the left side of the 12 tribes chart is the true biblical nationality and tribe that we are from, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Right? So this will be known as the 12 tribes chart. So first and foremost, we're going to start with Deuteronomy chapter 28. And we're going to start with Deuteronomy chapter 29, matter of fact. So we'll start with Deuteronomy chapter 29, so y'all will get an understanding of who Moses during the time of Egypt, who he's talking to. So Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to speak with the children of Israel. See, so Moses was only talking with the children of Israel, because Israel was the only nation that got rescued out of the land of Egypt during that time, with the Pharaoh in our captivity, right? So now you know they're talking about Israel. So now we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 9. Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest thou depart from the heart of all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. So the Lord is saying, the stuff that we have forgotten were our heritage and our true nationality, who we are, right? And our real customs. But now today in America, we thinking that we're African American, or we're thinking we're black, or we thinking we got these African American or Native Americans or Latino cultures, when that's the stuff that we learned from the enemy. And then we made our own customs and our own heritage from the enemy that we learned, that we adapt from them. But we had a greater rich history than that before, which is being Israelites and having our own land, having our own customs, having our own ways of life, keeping the commandments of God, right? So the Lord said, don't forget it. And you're supposed to teach your sons and their sons' sons, which is mainly speaking, teach your generations. In their generation, you're supposed to pass it down, the same teachings, right? So now we're going to go at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. So we're going to start with this. Verse 1 to 14 is basically the Most High is talking about blessings that he would give us. But verse 15 is where we always start, because it will show you the curses. So we will know exactly if you can identify yourself as being an Israelite by the curses. And it goes by your nationality from your father's side, right? So it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So we know that Moses is speaking to Israel, and he said to observe to do all his commandments. Now, God didn't give us religion. He gave us law, statute, and commandments to follow. Man-made religion. That's why the world is in chaos, because everything is being put into revelation. This is what known as the last days. So all the truth is being revealed. So man-made religion, and that's a bunch of lies. God didn't tell us to follow religions, right? He gave us commandments and statutes for Israel only, right? So-called black and Hispanic, Native American man, women, and children today, right? So, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? So the Lord said He's going to give us law, statute, commandments to follow, and if we follow it, we'll be blessed. That was in verse 1. But in verse 15 it says, if we don't follow it, we break the commandments, we're going to be cursed, right? And then they say God loves everybody, and look what God is doing. He's cursing His own people, right? So we serve a benevolent and a terrifying power, but He's a just power and He's righteous as well. So verse 16, it says, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Now you see the same thing with our people, black, Hispanic, Native Americans, wherever we are, cursed we are in the cities, right? We live in housings, we live in housing projects, we don't live in no mansions, right? We live in ghettos, we live in messed up Section 8 and all this stuff, apartments, and we still can't even afford it. The building is messed up. The super don't like take care of the building, right? We walk around the elevators, there's piss in the corner, there's rats around, roaches, right? And we're living in the worst conditions, right? You got the Hispanics, the Mexicans living in barrios, South Central LA, little Haiti, right? So the Lord said we're going to be cursed in the field. And cursed in the field, like our people was the only one that got put in cotton fields during the time of slavery, right? And then the Hispanics got put in cotton fields as well, sugar cane. They was cutting sugar cane. And the funny thing about the Hispanics, the so-called Latino people, they was taken in slavery first by the Spaniards and Christopher Columbus in 1492. Now the Negroes, so-called African American men, women, and children, we were taken in slavery in 1619, right? Coming from West Africa. So the Lord said we're going to be cursed in the field. And now for the field, I'll show you in the scriptures. Let me go to Matthew, I think it's 13 and 38. I think it's, yeah. Matthew chapter 13, verse 38. Look, it's the field right here. The field is the world. That's what the Lord mean by the field. The field is the world. So literally, the whole world we're in, we're cursed. No matter where we're going, we're cursed. You see, we can't run from these curses, right? So no matter where you go in the world, you're going to see a black, Hispanic, Native American people at the bottom of the bottom, living in hoods, living in corners, living in the worst conditions. It says, cursed shall be thy basket in thy store. So he's talking about our income. We're always struggling check to check, right? We don't got no health insurance. Even if we do got the health insurance, it's that Obamacare, which is trash. They ain't do a damn thing for us. We don't own no farms, no grocery stores. We don't own a damn thing. We don't own no water companies. We don't own nothing, right? And then it says, in thy store. So we don't got no stores. None of that stuff. So it said, cursed shall thou be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. So that means the fruit of thy body. It means what? We're going to get diseases. Our people's doing drugs. We was doing crack, like the crack epidemic. When the white people who's Caucasian today, that's known as Esau, Edom in the Bible, they're known as the damn devil. So they push the cracks and the drugs in our corners, in our place, in our blocks, right? And look how messed up the system is. They puts the drugs in our blocks, right? And then the so-called black man, he's trying to work at a job, and he's the last hired, but he's the first one fired. So now what happens with that? There's a stigma on him, because now He's trying to find a way to get some money, and he need to get some fast money because the rent is high. So now he's going to sell some drugs, because that's an easy way to get money. It's quick. So he's going to sell some crack to his own people just to pay the bills, right? And then he gets caught and he get locked up. And now, because of one mistake that he made in his life, now he's known as a criminal offender, right? So when he gets out of jail and he's trying to change his life, now if he's trying to get a job again, what happens? They're going to call him a criminal. They're going to say he can't work in certain jobs in certain places. So now it's even harder for him to get a regular job to maintain as well. So he's cursed with that as well. You see how the system is working against us. It's set up to keep us to be in sin and to fail as well. All right? So our people's going to be doing drugs. That's where you get the term with crack babies, right? We have AIDS and all this stuff, HIV, like in Atlanta. It's running rampant with HIV and AIDS and all this stuff, right? Because the Caucasians put that type of disease in there. And it's not even really them. It's the Most High that's putting curses on our people. So it says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. Again, where is the land that we got? We ain't got no land. Speaking of our people itself, we live in New York City, known as the concrete jungle, right? You don't see a lot of plants. You don't see a lot of trees, none of this stuff. We ain't got no land for ourselves. The increase of thy king and the flocks of thy sheep. We don't got no sheep. We don't got no farm for ourselves, right? Cursed shall be thou when thou comest in, and cursed shall there be when thou goest out. As soon as we're born, we're cursed. Why? Because as soon as we're born in this condition, right? You see in our birth certificates, they'll put a black person or African American, and that comes with a certain stigma as well, right? Like with the laws, it says the 3/5 of a man. That's still in effect. So they look at us like we're just nothing. We're just livestock. We don't mean nothing in their eyes, right? And then it says, and shall be when thou goest out. Even when we die, we're still going to be cursed. Because what? We ain't got enough money to pay for the funeral. Right? And then we're going to need a death certificate. We need a birth certificate and a death certificate. Right? So we don't get no breaks being born into this world, and we don't get no breaks when we leave out this world. That's why we're in the ghettos, we're in these worst conditions. And now, verse 20, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing and vexation and rebuke, in order that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly. See, cursing and vexation. We're gonna be vexed through the Spirit. We're gonna be afflicted. Rebuke, and thou settest thy hand unto for to do. So anything that we do is not gonna work, man. We try to open up a business, it's just not going to work out. Let's say we try to open up a black-owned business. Our people's not going to support it. They come to our business, and if we're selling jeans for like $30, and they go to American Eagle, they're selling jeans for like $50, the same type of jeans, they'll come to us and ask for a discount. So like, yo, bro, hook me up, man. Let me get a discount, man. Come on, family, hook me up. But what's funny is that we're trying to build our business to get up to at least a decent standard, right? To have the business functioning. But in American Eagle, they don't got to worry about none of that stuff. They're already set. They're already set, so they don't got to worry about none of that stuff. But our people, we don't want to support. We don't want to support each other in these businesses. So the Lord said we're going to be cursed with that as well, right? Until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Since we have forsaken the Lord from our wickedness, the Lord says he's going to forsake us as well. So we're calling on to the Lord, and he's not going to help us. And what's funny is, our people, we don't have the right name of the Lord. We thinking his name is Jesus Christ. That's a white man's name, right? So it says, the Lord shall, like verse 21, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. The pestilence is talking about diseases, right? That's why we got high cancer, high level of blood pressure. Right? Our people suffer from more of these different type of diseases. Even the Native Americans, and that's how you notice they're Israelites, because the Native Americans, when the Europeans came over to this land, they brought diseases to help try to wipe them out. With the smallpox, with the blankets, Christopher Columbus, right? So the Lord said, the Lord shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with a sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. See? So consumption is what? The stuff that we consume, like the drugs, like the alcohol and stuff that we take. Fever, that's self-explanatory. Inflammation is what? Burning. Right? Burning sensation, like extreme burning. From what? That's talking about chlamydia, gonorrhea, diseases, sexual diseases that we get. And with the sword, and with the blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Right? And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass. So when it's talking about heaven, there's three types of heavens. This earth, the level of this earth will be known as the first heaven. And heaven is known as a condition as well. So the Lord said, and thy heaven over thy head shall be a brass. So this place is like a prison for us. On this planet is like a prison planet. Right? So we get locked up, we go to jail, it's like brass as well, because it's like the chains is on our arms and our feet and our neck. Right? So it's like we're back in slavery again. Because what? The laws where it says 3/5 of a man, basically saying that you're still a slave. You're not even counted as a man. So what happened? You're going back in jail, and the system set it up like that, where they want you back in jail as an actual slave, and you're working for like 6 pennies a day, or a penny a day. And then now, especially with this coronavirus, what's happening is that the people in the prisons, they were making hand sanitizers, adding on to them making car license plates and all the other stuff that they usually make for free, basically. Right? So we're still stuck in slavery. And I could prove that again. Let me see. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Let's see. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. You see? That means we are yet this day in our slavery. Why? Because the Most High put us in slavery for our punishment, for breaking His laws and His commandments. Right? So now it says, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Right? So the earth is going to be iron. It's going to be like a jail cell, like a prison cell. The brass is over us, and the earth under us is iron. We're stuck. We're locked in. We can't escape. Right? So it's like a jail cell for us, the whole world. Verse 24, the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. You see, so the rain is talking about that of thy land. Because if you have a what they call it, if you have a farm, you're gonna need rain for the plants, for the crops to grow. But the Lord said, when that rain comes, it's gonna be powder and dust. He's gonna make sure it's like you ain't got no chance. You ain't growing nothing. You ain't gonna be fruitful with nothing. From heaven it shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. You see, so the Lord is enclosing us in His prison. Right? And then we looking up for rain, and it's like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Dusk is gonna come down. Right? So you might just start coughing around and everything, like, God damn, I ain't catching no breaks. Verse 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them. That is talking about, like, let's say our people were protesting, like the Black Lives Matter movement, where they was protesting. So you got black and Hispanic people coming together as one unit for a good cause, right? And they say no justice, no peace. They're protesting. They're trying to fight for their rights. And then what happens is when the Lord is saying that we're going to flee 7 ways, is that's when they start bringing in the riots, the police, the riot police. And then what happens? We just all scatter. Because that's the thing with our people. As soon as we see police, we see their authority, we see their guns, and then we just start running. Why? Because that's a curse. We're scared of our enemy. That's a curse that the Lord put on us. Right? And verse 26, and thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Like, let's say the Haitians or the Mexicans, right? Or the Jamaicans. Sometimes when they're trying to come to America, they will usually take a boat to get over here. Or they'll probably swim over here. Because of all the lies they heard about America. America, the land of the free, the land of big dreams, you know. Great America this and great America that. All the lies that they heard about America, right? They think that it's all true. And then as soon as they get to America, they find out it was a hellhole, it was a nightmare. Right? So they're risking their lives, putting their life on the line. Some of them don't even make it. They'll end up drowning in the water. Right? So it's going to be that carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air. Those are vultures. And the beasts of the earth. No man shall fray them away. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt. And with the hemorrhoids. And hemorrhoids basically means like tumors. Hemorrhoids. Right? And with the scab and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. You see, so that's vicious right there. That's a harsh type of disease right there. Right? And that's what he's saying. That's why you can't mess with the Lord, man. Once you break those commandments, man, it's hell to pay. It's hell to pay, man. And that's tough. See, let me show you right here. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. See? Because what? The Lord, He controls everything, man. He knows what you're scared of. He knows how to get you frightened, how to get you petrified. And that's why it's a fearful thing to fall to the hands of the living God. That's why the best thing to do is just follow the Lord, man. Just listen to what He say. Don't follow man and what they say. Follow what the Lord says. The Lord said to keep the commandments, man. Just keep the commandments, man. You know. Just make it 1,000 times easier for you, and bless you and your entire family. You know. But verse 28, and the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness of heart, blindness and astonishment of heart. So He's talking about madness. If you've seen our people be out in the street corners, you got Jake, we call him Jake, but he's based, Jake is from the word Jacob. It's our forefathers whose name got changed to Israel, but we basically call him Jake as a nickname. So Jake, you see him out there talking to himself, you know. People thinking he's crazy. He's crazy, yeah, because the Lord says he's going to be smitten with madness. But he's talking to demons and spirits, right? So he might look crazy to everybody else, but he's talking to demons in another realm. And that's the demons the spirits that's put on him by the Lord. You know? So he might not get any rest. Right? And it says blindness. So now we don't know where we're going. Because of blindness, we don't know where we're going, man. We're reaching out for help and we can't find it. We're looking for the light, but we can't find it. We're in darkness. Right? And what is that light? That's keeping the commandments. The light is the truth. And astonishment of heart. People looking at us like it's astonished, because the word heart in the Bible means mind. Right? And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind grope in darkness. So as the blind gropeth in darkness, we're going to grope the same way. Right? So like the blind groping in darkness, we're going to grope the same way. Right? So like blind groping in darkness, we're going to be groping that same as well in the noonday. Right? Same thing like what? We're trying to look for our leaders. We're trying to look for people to guide us. But ain't nobody going to try to guide us. All our leaders been sellouts. You know? They've been traitors. They gave up on us. Because what? They love the white man's money. He loves Esau money and his ways and his systems. Right? So it's like we got to fend for ourselves. See? So that's curse that the Lord put on us. So now we following all these other stuff. We're following religion, Islam, Christianity, right? Buddhism, following these different laws and religions that the Lord ain't tell us to follow. He just told us to be simple. Just keep the commandments, keep the faith, follow his feast days, man. You know? Right? So it says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So we're going to be oppressed. That's why we don't own a damn thing, man. You know, Esau, who's known as the Caucasian people, and all these other nations, they got every damn thing, man. They got military, they got missiles, right? They the one that make the laws. We can't do a damn thing. We got to go to their school system to learn. Right? We got to follow what they say. You know, they'll put a curfew and a martial law, and we got to follow that. You know, telling us to stay home, we got to follow that. Why? Because we're oppressed. Right? And this is part of the curses. This is how you know you're an Israelite. And spoil evermore. They can come over to our place, to our blocks and our homes and do whatever the hell they want. They can beat up a so-called black man or a black woman, shoot them, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. And ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. They ain't gonna try to help anybody. Right? A man could get locked up in prison for 40 years, 60 years, throw him in prison for life. Ain't nobody gonna help him. Right? They gonna say he's a criminal, because they gonna, as soon as they see a black person, man, or Hispanic, they gonna say we already criminals, man. They ain't trying to hear it. They already point us how they want it. Right? And then it says, verse 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, which means you're going to marry. You're going to have a wife for yourself, and another man shall lie with her. That's speaking back to the time when we was in slavery. And the slave master would take the wife that we got, and he would sleep with her first, before we get her. Right? And so now our woman is coming and looking for us to help her. Well, we're both stuck in slavery. Right? So now that's talking about also in modern days as well, adultery. That's famous in these modern times, man, adultery. They got songs about it, you know, having sex with your woman, having sex with your girl, your wife, you know. Like the stuff that these people that's watching stuff like MILFs, right? Cougars and all this stuff. But that's supposed to be another man's wife, and she's over there whoring and sleeping with somebody else. And thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Like our people, we build all these places. We build the mansions. We build these buildings. All these structures of America, we built their kingdom, man. We built the whole damn American civilization off our backs with blood, sweat, and tears. With blood, sweat, and tears, you know. And then they got the nerve to call us lazy. Calling us lazy. We've been working for your country for 400 years for free. Right? And then it was I think it was like 6 or 7 months ago. Yeah, 6 or 7 months ago, Trump was admitted. He said that, yeah, you black people build the country. Y'all built this country with your hard work. And y'all built the White House. Trump was saying that. See, so we even built the White House, where the president is at, but we don't get a chance to live there. We don't own the White House. We don't own these mansions. We don't own these places, these buildings, but we're the one that's building it. So the Lord said we're going to be cursed. We're not going to be able to live in them. Right? Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather grapes thereof. Same thing again. You plant the farm, all the hard work you did for the harvest, waiting, different seasons. You know, you got to till the farm, till the land, you know, buy the seeds. You know, you gotta be out there shoveling. You gotta be out there with the truck, planting the seeds on the farm, making sure everything is lined up. And the thing with us, our people itself, we're agricultural people, which means we know how to farm. We know how to till the land. We used to be farmers. We know how to do stuff like that. Why? Because we're one with nature. We're one with the earth. We're in the same frequency with the earth. We match with the earth because the earth was made for us. This entire planet was made for us. Right? Let me show you right there. Second Esdras chapter, let me go to 7 and 10. This whole world was made for us. Second Esdras chapter 7, verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. Now, Israel's portion, check this. Because for their sakes I made the world. So the Lord made the world for Israel's sake. So the Lord literally made the world for the blacks, Hispanics, and American people. Yeah, this entire planet is made for us. And that's crazy. Right? And that's why this whole planet is going to crap right now. It's going to shit right now because the Edomites is in rulership. Right? So since they're in rulership, they're destroying everything. If we were back in rulership, this whole planet would be peaceful, like during the time of King Solomon, where they had 40 years of peace. The whole world was at peace for 40 years. Because King Solomon, who's a black man, was ruling. Right? Yeah, but that's a bit off topic, but we'll leave that for another discussion. So back again, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 31. So 28 verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. This is another curse. This pertaining to the Native Americans with their buffaloes. And what the Christopher Columbus and the Caucasian did was, in order to starve out the Native Americans, because the buffalo is very important for the Native Americans. They use the buffaloes for the skin, the fur for warmth, to stay warm, right? They use the horns and the teeth as a knife. So with the animal, they use it for everything. They had a need for it. They didn't just go around killing animals like these Edomites or these Caucasian people do, right? They don't go hunting for no reason. You got these Caucasian people, they going to kill animals. They kill any damn thing, man. Elephant, tiger, bear, anything as a trophy, and hang up the head of the animal on their walls in their houses. Us as a black and Hispanic Native American people, if we kill an animal, we're killing it for food, for necessity, because we need it, right? And we're going to use every part of the animal for our benefit, right? Because the Lord made us like that, right? So it says, thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face. So what Christopher Columbus and the Caucasian did to the Native Americans, they killed all the buffaloes. Had it like a mountain of them. They killed all the buffaloes. Right? And what did that do? They did that just to get the Native Americans to starve. So they can't have no food for resources. So the same Native Americans that taught them how to clean themselves, how to bathe themselves, and also how to adapt with the land, the so-called white man turned around and just backstabbed him and took over his land and tried to genocide his whole entire nation. And that is crazy, because look, I'll show you right here. Let me go to Psalms 55 and 21. Look at this, Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. It says, he hath put forth his hands against as such as be at peace. So when they came over to America, they put forth their hands as to be at peace, right? So they said they was going to make a contract with them, right? That's why it says never trust thine enemy, because they're your enemy. You're not supposed to trust them. They wanted to make a contract with Native Americans. The Native Americans believed in them. They didn't think they would get backstabbed and killed and all of this. And he had broken his covenant. So he broke every contract. So you can't trust them. You can't trust these Edomites. Whatever they say is a lie. You can't believe in them. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Like that commercial, I can't believe it's not butter. You see? So the Lord said the word of his mouth was smoother than butter. Why? Because he lied like it's nothing, like it's natural. Like oil, like it's easy for him to lie. It's smooth. But war was in his heart. But in his mind, he was thinking of a way to kill our people and take over their place, take over their land. Because so-called white men, women and children, they're about war. They're about killing. They're about stealing. They're the thief that the Bible say they are. They're the devil that the Bible say they are. Right? His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. See, word was softer than oil, yet it was drawn swords. That's the way. That's the way that they came and took over this land. And this land wasn't even called America, because the word America came from a Italian man named Amerigo Vespucci. He named his land after himself. But before, this land was named Ahrayah. So we're going to go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28 again. Right? Verse 31. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. It's going with the buffalo again. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt not have none to rescue them. Because since we was also known as agricultural people and farmers as well, we have many livestock, many sheeps. And sheeps could be used as many things. Like we said, for fur, for food. It can be used as many things. It can be used as money to trade. Right? We were resourceful people, and we were very rich. Because we were blessed when we was keeping the commandments. And shall be given unto thy enemy, and shall have none to rescue them. So basically, they take our animals, our livestock, we can't get it back, basically. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Right? And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. What is that talking about? That's talking about during the time of slavery as well. Sons and daughters, they would take our kids and bring them straight into the slave markets, and they could sell them. If you see, I know you already seen a lot of these movies like Roots. Take the kid, grab them up, the kid is crying, the mother parent is crying. They're reaching out to them, trying to hold them, you know. And then you got the so-called Caucasian, don't give a damn. They taking them straight to slavery, taking them straight to the market to sell them off. Right? So these people ain't got no compassion, no nothing. That's why the Lord got to destroy them, man. All right? Same thing with the Mexicans. The Mexicans, they took their kids and deported them. You know? It happened 2 years ago. They was taking the Mexicans, who are known as the Issacharites in the Bible. They took them and put them in concentration camps. Right? So Trump put them in concentration camps. Some of them was there for like 40 days. They couldn't get no food. They couldn't take a shower. Right? They was just getting wet wipes to clean themselves. Treated like a bunch of animals. Right? So that's part of the curses. Right? And fail with longing from them all the day long, and there shall be no might in their hand, in thine hand. So guess what? You ain't got no military to get back your kid. You ain't got no might with that. You ain't got no army to fight for you. Right? Because if there was an army to fight for you, like these other nations, like China, if America were to try to kidnap Chinese people, the Chinese will probably have a war with them. Why? Because the Chinese people have a own nation of themselves. They have the land of China. Russia, try to kidnap some Russian people. Let's say if America try to take like 100,000 Russian people and kidnap them, and tell Russia, we taking your people, your citizens, you ain't gonna do a damn thing about it. Russia gonna come with their army ASAP, man. Might shoot a bomb at this place. Right? So that's part of the curses right there. But we ain't got no army for ourselves to protect us, because our army was supposed to be the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? But since we departed from his ways by breaking the commandments, he turned his back on us. See? So now we got to come back to the Most High so he can protect us again, so he can fight for us like he's doing right now with these plagues that he's putting on America, the coronavirus. So you blacks and Hispanics, I got to wake up, man. All right, we tired. We trying to get the hell up out of here, man. I'm tired of this damn captivity, man. All right, so verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. That's talking about Edomites, the Caucasian. We didn't know about these people, man. Right, because we suffer from lack of knowledge. The fruit of thy land, all thy labors, so that means all the work that we did. They're going to take it and they're going to eat it up. So we're working for them. And thou shalt only be oppressed and crushed always. You see? First it started with slavery. They put us with chains, arms, feet, and neck. And then they destroyed us to the point that now they don't even need the chains. Why? Because we're in mental slavery. Like it says, there's a quote that they said, the perfect slave, in order to get the perfect slave, you got to have him believing that he's not a slave. right? Destroy him from his mind. As you destroy him from his mind, you can control his body. So take the mind and then you get the body. That's why they had an example like with the elephants in the circus. How the circus trainer would do with the elephants. He would get him when he's young and tie a rope on his neck or his foot and put a stake on the floor. So now when the elephant is young, he's trying to escape. All these time he's trying to escape. He can't. Why? Because he wasn't strong enough to do it. But then when he gets older and then he try to escape, he's not going to do it no more. Why? Because he had it in his mind when he was young. He couldn't escape from them ropes. He couldn't pull away. So now he's a slave mentally. But when he's older, he has enough strength to pull out the whole damn circus. But he don't even try it. He don't even attempt it. That's the same with our people. Right? We got all this knowledge, all this power, but we don't even use it. Right? So the Lord said, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. So we're going to see the oppression. We're going to see our people be put in captivity. We're going to see all this, and we ain't going to have no power to do nothing against it. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs. See, that's why we got knee problems. That's a curse. And they also talking about the concrete floor. Because what? The concrete floor is not shock absorbent. Right? We had land like dirt and soil. The soil, the dirt is supposed to be soft so it could be shock absorbent on our knees and our back. That's a science that the Lord made it like that. Right? So we're going to have knee problems. So now we're playing sports basketball, running around on concrete, jumping high as hell, 50-inch vertical and everything. But as we're coming down, our knees is getting hurt from the landing. So in the legs, with a sore botch that cannot be healed. So it can't be healed. Once you get knee problems, man, it's over with, man. A lot of people with their basketball career, they got to retire after that. Why? Because they're not the same no more. They don't run the same no more. They don't move the same no more. Right? From the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Ankle problems, knee problems, foot problems, corns, everything. To the top of thy head. That's all talk about back problems. Right? And then it says, verse 36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king. See, so we were kings. We are kings. And we had our own king. Every nation has their king, but we were the best of the best. Because look, if you look in the Bible, these 2 chapters right here, these books is called the Book of Kings. So that's our history. We had kings. See? We had King David, King Solomon. Moses was a king as well. Right? Even H.O.I, who they call Jesus Christ, he's a king. He's the ultimate king, King of Kings. Right? So it says, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. What nation is that? The nation of Edom. That's the Edomites. So we've been brought into America. Right? And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. Other gods. And like it says in Exodus, the Lord doesn't want us to bow and believe in other gods. But he said as a curse, he's going to put us to believe in these other gods. Wood, which is Christianity. That's why they got Jesus Christ, the white Christ. Who they got on the cross, that's the wooden cross. That's Christianity. So they got different denominations. Pentecostal, Seventh-day Adventists, right? Baptist Church. We're going to be serving that. Our people are going to be stuck in that. And stone. And stone is pertaining to Islam. So we're going to be stuck in either one of these religions. Christianity or Islam. We got a lot of our people believing in Allah, Muslim, Jake, and all that crap. That's trash, man. You know, Allah ain't going to save you, man. You know, what happened last week? The Kaaba stone, Mecca, first time it was empty. What happened to all these Muslims? Ain't no Muslims coming over there to pray to Allah. They don't really got faith. If they really had faith, they would still be there. But they dipped because of the coronavirus. See? So they don't really got faith. But the Lord said we're going to be cursed. We're going to be serving Islam and Christianity. And thou shalt become astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So he's saying we're going to be called proverbs and bywords, like Negro or nigger, right? Or African American or Mexican or Dominican or spick or thug, all these different names that people call us. That's not who we are. Right? We're an Israelites from different tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel. But the Lord put this curse on us. So thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in. What does that mean? All that work that we're doing, all these jobs that we got, right? Working 12-hour shifts, right? Double shifts, all this, right? 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. So we got much seed from much of the work that we're putting in, but we can't gather nothing. Why? Because we got to pay these bills. We got to pay phone bills, light bills, water bills, rent, right? So we come in with $1,000 check, and we only get to spend like probably $50 by the time the week is over, right? Some brothers got to pay child support, right? Got to pay the car note. We got to pay for everything. For the locust shall consume it. Who's the locust? The locusts are the other nations, man. They're gonna take everything from us. Everything from us, man. Right? We got let's say laundromat. You'll have a Chinese or a Japanese owning the laundromat. Right? So now we gotta spend our money over there. Right? Our money's not trickled in our society. Like the $1 trillion, the black dollar, which is known as $1 trillion or more. We use all that money to spend with these other nations. Spend it on Chinese food, that's Moab. Spend it on with the Arabs, spending with the so-called Hamites, the Africans, right? All our money, it goes to all these other nations. It don't come to us. But they take our money and go to their home and build their homes. And verse 39, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine. Again, we're going to work. We're going to plant the vineyards, which is like the farming, basically, right? And that's talking with wine and grapes. We're not even going to get a chance to enjoy it, nor gather the grapes. See, for the worm shall eat them. Who's that? That's these other nations, right? So they're the real consumers. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil. For thine oil shall cast his fruit. The same thing again, pertaining to with these other nations. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. As soon as our kids is born, guess what? They got debts on them. We gotta put their name in the phone bills. We gotta put their name in different bills that we have in society. Why? Because our credit is messed up. So as soon as our kids is born, their credit is already messed up because we're putting the burden on them. Right? And then what? They shall go into captivity. That's why they got ACS. Right? They could lie and just say we're not good parents because of domestic violence and all this stuff. And they'll just take our kids. I'll speak from experience. I used to be in ACS for like almost 2 years. Right? And our kids will be going to slavery again. That's talking about when they took us back in slavery. When they took us back in slavery. I was talking about when they took us back in slavery, our kids and our daughters, right? We couldn't do nothing to get them back. We didn't have no power to get them back, right? And all thy trees and the fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume. So all the works we do, all the stuff that we benefit from, all the hard labor that we put in, the reward, we're not going to get that back. We're not going to enjoy it. They're going to take all of it. We're not going to get a chance to enjoy our checks. The strangers that is within thee shall get up very high, and thou shalt come down very low. That's talking about these other nations. Like the Arabics will be known as Ishmael in the Bible. Moab will be known as Chinese. Ammon will be known as the Japanese. Right? Hamites, which is the African people, will be known as Ham, because we're not African. And then America labels us as African American, when the word African comes from a white man whose name Leo Scipios Africanus, right? And then American, which is America, coming from another white man named Ahrayah Vespucci. So we're not African. Ain't no two white men gonna make a black baby, right? So these heathen nations, that's who they are. We can both go in the same high school, grow up in the same high school, go into the same high school. As soon as we graduate, I got to go to college and use all my money from my grandparents or my parents to help fund for me to get to college. But let's say Arabic or Chinese or Japanese or Jewish, or African, they already got set with the money because their parents got money. And the system is going to help them. The system is going to give them the loans to build their business. But if we try to get a business, we can't get it. And we helped build this country. And we was in this country. We're prisoners of war. Right? So they're going to get very, very high compared to us. They're going to have their businesses and we ain't going to have a damn thing. So verse 44, he shall lend to thee and thou shalt not lend to him. See? So he's going to lend to us like what? Business loans. Right? Because what? He got the power now to give us money. But what about us? We don't got our own thing now. So we got to ask him for everything. Right? Credit cards, mortgage loans. We got to ask for all of that. He shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. So it's now he's making the orders. He's telling us what to do. Right? We got to follow his lead now. We got to wait till he say go and wait till he say sit or stop in all of this. All right? Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and they shall pursue thee. So the Lord says he's going to put curses on us. Right? And overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded this day. So the Lord said he's going to put all these curses on us because we didn't want to listen to him. We didn't want to keep his commandments. Right? And we're stiff-necked. We're hard-headed people. We always think we're right. We always want to do our own thing. Well, you can do that with man, but you can't do that with God. That's the problem right there. Verse 46. Keyword. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. So this is the signs to let us know that who we are, that we are the Israelites. Because only the Israelites will be suffering from these type of curses. No other nation can suffer from these curses like us. Right? Let me show you right now. Let me go to, I'm going to hold Deuteronomy chapter 28 and go to Daniel chapter 9. Verse 12. This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, against our judges that joined us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. You see? So all these curses the Lord says he's going to put on us. So under the whole heaven, it's not talking about the third heaven. It's not talking about where God is at. Earth is known as the first heaven. So under this entire earth, it hasn't been any type of curses compared to the curses that the blacks, Hispanics, Native American people have been suffering from. Right? So this is the signs that let us know that we're the chosen people of God. So let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Verse 47. Matter of fact, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. You see, so it's not a temporary thing, it's forever. The Lord said he's going to put these curses on us forever. So this is a sign for us to know who we are, for us to know that we are the chosen people, the Israelites. Verse 47, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for abundance of all things, since we wasn't happy to serve the Lord by keeping his commandments, and he would give us all these blessings, right? We ain't have to worry about lending from anybody. They got to lend from us, because we'll have the money, we'll have everything. And with gladness of heart, which is the mind, and abundance of all things. So that's crazy. We wasn't satisfied with just having the whole world. We wanted to follow everybody else's stuff. So the Lord said he's going to put curses on us. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. You see, the Lord said he's going to send enemies against us. Who is that? The Caucasian people, who will be known as the Edomites. Those are the so-called white men, women, and children. Right? So the Lord said he's going to send them against us. Right? In hunger. What does that mean? So if we need any type of food we want, we got to go to them to get it. They making the food now. They own the Kentucky Fried Chicken. They own the supermarkets. Right? They own these restaurants. We don't own none of this stuff. The Chinese spots that we usually go every time. The Chinese people own that. Right? So the food that they make, these GMO foods, these disgusting foods, we still got to go to them for that. But like it says in Ezekiel, it says we're going to eat their defiled bread. Right? And in thirst for water, we got to go to them for that. Polish Spring, Desania, right? Agua, all that stuff that you could think of. Right? We got to go to them for that, man. Right? We don't own no water. The water bill, we don't own none of that stuff, man. Anytime they want, they can cut off the water. And we can't do a damn thing about it. That's why in Flint, Michigan, the water is dirty. It's been dirty for like almost 8 years. And they ain't doing a damn thing about it. Right? The water that we drink, it got fluoride in it. Which is a disease that messes up our body, and we still have to drink that. Right? And in nakedness, what is that? We got to go to them for clothes. We don't own these clothing stores. We don't own Dr. J's. We don't own American Eagle. We don't own Gucci. We don't own all these fancy clothes and all that stuff, right? We don't own the Jordans and all that. Michael Jordan owns that, but he's a sellout, right? The fabric for the clothes, even if we're making clothes, we need the fabrics, and the fabrics we get it from them, right? Like the fringes, that's part of our customs, we get it from them, right? And in want of all things, what is that talking about? Birth certificate, driver's license. That is one of all things. Marriage license, a passport to go travel to another country, right? A ID. We got to get all of that from them. Everything we got to get from them, man. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Like in slavery, he put a yoke of iron upon our neck. In chains, man. Right? Until he have destroyed thee. Why? Because until he have destroyed us, he's going to keep that chain on our neck so we can be living as slaves. But as soon as we are so destroyed now, he don't have to put the chain on our neck no more. Because we're mental slaves now. So he already did his job. The Caucasian people already did their job during the time of slavery. Right? So the Lord said he's going to curse us and he's going to send these damn devils against us. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. That's them again. From the end of the earth. Like it's talking about with the Spaniards. They came for the northern kingdom, which are the so-called Hispanics. Or Christopher Columbus from afar. Because Spain is very far from South America. Right? So they came against them as swift as the eagle flieth. And that's why their emblems, all these Caucasian, these European countries, their emblem is the eagle, the bald eagle. Same as the white man's today. American eagle, like I was saying with the store. Same as the eagle, the bald eagle is their sign and their emblem. That's what they use to identify themselves. So that's how you know this Bible is real. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Why? Because we were speaking Hebrew. We wasn't speaking English. They were speaking English, and we didn't know what the hell they was talking about. That's why language is powerful, because it's an open way. It's an open way for communication. All right. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young. See, a nation of fierce countenance, they have no respect for our people, old or young. If you was old or young, it didn't matter. They wanted you in the cotton field to work. From sun up to sundown. Almost 24 hours straight, man. Right? They showed you no mercy. Right? The old man is collapsing. They'll whoop his back, give him like 40 lashes. Right? Grandfather's working in the cotton field. Right? They don't care. They don't give a damn. Even today, we're still working. Our fathers, our grandfathers got to still work to help pay with the rent and the paycheck. To help put food on the table. And then the young kids, they would teach them while they're young as slaves, right? And he shall eat. Let me see, verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. So everything we work for, or the hours we put in for this free labor, he's gonna reap the benefits and the reward. Which also shall not leave thee either corn or wine or oil or the increase of thy kin. So he's not going to leave us no damn thing. We put in hard work and labor, right? Picking up the cottons, right? Blood is on our hands for more the cotton that we're picking. Our hands is messed up, right? From all that work that we're doing, and he's gonna reap that benefit. So he's gonna sit back and enjoy it and have a good time. Drink some cold water in the hot sun while we out there in the burning sun working our ass off. And the increase of thy king or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. So everything that we work for him is for free. We don't get to enjoy a damn thing. Right? Verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Lord thy God has given thee. So he's talking about during the time of 70 AD, when the Romans came into the land of Jerusalem, and they kept us inside the land of Jerusalem, and they starved us, so that was part of the famine. And he besieged us. He came over and took over our land, took over the city, killed 1 million of our people, the Jews. And some of us had to escape into Africa and travel into West Africa, right? So let me show you right there. Let me show you right here. There we go. So we had to escape into Israel, from Israel to Egypt, and then into West Africa. So this was part of the transatlantic slave trade. Part of transatlantic slave. Yeah, this is part of transatlantic slave trade right here. Split up to North America, Caribbean, and South America. Alright, so verse 53, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body and the flesh of thy sons, thy daughter which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege, in the straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee. See, so we was locked in the city, right? And we were starving with famine, and we couldn't eat. There was nothing, the food wasn't left, there was nothing left, so even we had to eat our own children to survive. Cannibalism, right? And that time is coming right now, because right now martial law is about to start, and it's coming right now in these last days. So verse 54, this is a very important verse right here. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. So you see, this is talking about black on black crime, right? And this where the so-called Bloods and Crips will happen. So we got most of our people following Bloods and Crips. You got the Latinos following MS-13. You got the Dominicans in DDP. You know, the Latins and Latin Kings. See, we're in all these different type of gangs, and we're going against each other. We're killing each other. Why? Because this is a curse that's put on us, right? So we're suffering from these type of curses, black on black crime. Where if you see a white man walking in your neighborhood, or a white man is fighting with you, you're not even going to bother to try to fight him. You're going to respect him, right? You're going to be more scared of him because you're scared of the police. You're scared of the Caucasians, the Edomites. The Lord put a curse on you where you're scared of your enemy. You're 6'3", 6'5", 220 pound, all muscles, and you scared of your enemy. It was like thin and frail, weak as hell, right? So that's a mental slavery curse right there. See, and that's oppression right there, because you're oppressing your own people, right? And he shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. See, now you're going against your own woman. That's why so-called black man, black woman can't get along today. They're always arguing. So what the black man does, he goes with a white woman now, or he goes with a Japanese or a Chinese woman, right? But he'll never go with his own people. He'll never deal with Eve, his own sister. You know, try to raise up his own people, try to marry his own people, right? Toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children. Now check this one, which he shall leave. You see, this where they got that saying from, where Papa was a Rolling Stone, or baby daddy or baby mama. All right. See, where he shall leave. That's why in the household there's not as many fathers in the household. And look how the system is working, where they want to give the woman Section 8 or housing. They'll have the woman kick out the man in order to get the housing. So now she becomes an independent woman. Right? Verse 55, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of the children whom he shall eat. That's talking about twofold. It can be about cannibalism, and it can also talk about passing down something in your heritage. Like the so-called black man, he ain't got nothing to pass down to his children, man. Why? Because he ain't got nothing left. His income is not as good. You know, he's trying to work to provide for his family. The system is against him. The whole world is against him. Right? Right? And then the debts, he got debts. You know, if he go to school, he got college debts he got to pay. Right? And because he have nothing left in the siege, in the straightness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates, the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. This is talking about the woman. Like, if you ever seen like these movies, like when the princess or the queens, you got like 4 men like bodyguards that's carrying them around in them big looking carts, right? And the queen is sitting there, she's looking all beautiful, dressed up. Now, it's saying that her feet during that time of the ages when the Israelites, we were ruling, our woman was like that. We had security carrying them around. They wouldn't step foot on the ground, you know, because they were precious. But now, what happened? They're walking all over the place, man, with sandals, thigh slippers, right? They're not even delicate no more. They're more masculine, right? They become ratchet. That's a curse on our woman, on our people. Her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom. See? So she's not going to she's not going to respect her husband. Right? They're always going to be fighting domestic violence. And toward her son. So now she's not even caring for her son. Her son, that's what the saying goes with, like, you just like your father. All right? Your father ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit. You just like your father, man. You just like your daddy. Right? And toward her daughter. So now she's jealous with her daughter, because what? Her daughter might be younger. The mom might be like 40 years old, and the daughter's like 16 to 18 years old. And all the fellas is trying to talk with her. All the fellas love her. Right? She's beautiful and everything. So the mother is jealous of her own daughter. So now what? She's trying to compete with her daughter. He's trying to go in the club with her daughter. Right? Trying to get as much numbers as her daughter get from these young men. Right? So that's a curse right there. And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. So that's her child that's being born. Right? And toward her children which she shall bear. See? So she's going to have an evil eye towards her children as well. Why? Because the job of the mother is supposed to teach and protect her children. But now the curses are saying that she's not gonna love her children. Right? She's not gonna love them in righteousness through the laws and the statutes and commandments, but she's gonna lead them astray in wickedness. Right? Like it says in the Proverbs, it says, same as the mother, so as the daughter. So now if the mother's acting like a whore ratchet, guess what? The children only sees that. So the children is liable to copy that. Copy the ways of how people are. Because the children don't go off of words and speaking. It goes off of actions. All right? And let me see. Verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that is written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, which is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's his true name. The Heavenly Father in the name of the Son. The Savior, who's Yahweh Shai, who the world evenly calls Jesus Christ. So the Lord said we don't listen to what's written in these laws of these books and fear the Lord thy God. Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and plagues of thy seed, even great plagues of the long continuance, and sore sicknesses of a long continuance. So the Lord is basically saying the plagues that I'm gonna do for you is gonna be miraculous. It's gonna be devastating. So the Lord is giving us a threat. He's trying to make sure that we keep these commandments. Right? Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. So he's saying all the diseases, like the 10 plagues that he put on Egypt, the Lord said that ain't going to be a damn thing. He's going to take that and more. And all of that is going to be on you. It's going to be on you as a curse. Because in Egypt, these 10 plagues is what destroyed Egypt for eternity. All right? That's why Egypt ain't the number one power today. Number one power today is the Edomites. They're the new Egypt. The new, more better, and wicked Egypt. Right? But the old Egypt, which are the Sudanese people, if you see them today, they look like nothing. Nobody respects them. They look like trash. They look like garbage, like a bunch of starving children, starving people. Right? They looking anorexic because the Lord did that to them. So the Lord said those 10 plagues, and those plagues took time, man. Each plague took time. The Lord said all those 10 plagues, he's going to put them all together, and they're going to be on you as a sign to destroy you. You black and Hispanic and Native American people. That's why we're the cursed people, man. Right? And verse 61, also every sickness. It's talking about stuff like AIDS, HIV, cancer, every sickness. Right? High blood pressure. All of that stuff is going to be upon us, man. You know, bird flu, West Nile, Zika virus, swine flu. All of that is going to be upon us, man. Right? And as ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of the multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. That's talking about the Native Americans when they got hit with those smallpox diseases from Christopher Columbus and them damn devils. You know, they were left in few, like almost endangered species, because he almost wiped them out. It was like a genocide. Because a genocide it means massive death of a nation of people. So he almost wiped out the Native Americans, but the Lord God gave them mercy and kept them alive. And the Native Americans is back here today. Right? Verse 63, and it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoices over you to do you good works, to do you good and to multiply you. The Lord was happy for us to multiply. That's why he told us in Genesis to be fruitful and multiply, right? So the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you. See? The same way he was happy to give you the whole world, he was happy to make you fruitful and multiply, to give you all your heart's desire. It's the same way he's going to be happy to destroy you. That's a scary thing. That's why I said the Lord is marvelous, glorious, and fearful. And let me see. It said the Lord is what? The Lord is, thou mayest fear the Lord, that glorious and fearful name. So you got to fear the Lord, man. Simple as that. So the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. That's why we got kicked out of Jerusalem. That's a curse he put on us. But we're not in our homeland. We're in the land of the captivity of the enemy. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That's why our people, Israel, we're in majorities in America, but we're all scattered all over the world, man. All over the world. China, Japan, Russia, Africa, all over the world, man. We're scattered. All right? And we're serving other gods. We're serving the religions over there, Islam and Christianity. Right? We're serving that because the two biggest religions in the world is Islam and Christianity. And the reason why people are serving that because our people believe in God. So they got these churches and they lie to us, say that God is here. So we're going to come in those churches and be like, hey, we're looking for God. Well, that's the lie right there. Right? So verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. See, we're not going to catch no breaks. They're going to torture us too. Because that's part of the curses. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. We ain't going to catch no breaks, man. They're going to work us off. They're going to work us down, man. They ain't going to give us no breaks, man. This how you know you're an Israelite, man. These curses, man. Right? The book of Deuteronomy chapter 20 is like a DNA test right here. Right? But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So that means that we ain't gonna know either day. It's like we're hanging at the edge, man. Right? We're just trying to survive. We take it day by day. You know? We don't know we gonna get shot, we gonna get locked up one day. You know, we driving in, next thing somebody pull us over, the cops pull us over, we don't know who's gonna be our last ride, we gonna get shot up. Talking about hands up, don't shoot, right? We don't know we walking through the hood and all of this. We don't know a gang member might just come through and just shoot us up, a drive-by, whatever. We're gonna be fearful and trembling. Right? And verse 66, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. So we're not sure about us waking up the next day. We're not sure about us going out to the store and coming back home, or going out to school and coming back, man. Right? Or going to meet a friend and making it back home to see our family. Right? We're not sure about that. Why? Because of the curses, because of the environment that we're put in. Right? Like it said with the Jews, it says the Jews, the definition of Jews are people that are in the hoods. That's what the definition of a Jew is. Right? And even Christ came from the hood. He came from Nazareth. Right? So when they have that saying, if you can make it out of New York, you can make it anywhere. No, if you can make it out the hood, you can make it anywhere. That's what it is. Right? Because when you're living in the hood, when you grow up in the hood, you've seen everything, man. You've seen every damn thing, man. Everything, you've seen it all, man. Right? And that's what give you that tough skin. So the Lord said, in the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening. In that evening thou shalt say, would it God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Now this is the kicker right here. For the Lord, Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 68, for the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right? Now the word Egypt means bondage. It means slavery. Like during the time with Moses when he got us out of Egypt. And let's go to that real quick. Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Right? Out of the house of bondage. This is what Egypt means. The house of bondage. That means slavery. That's why the Lord says he's going to bring us back into slavery basically again, but with ships. That's why we say again, the transatlantic slave ships. The first Egypt, we didn't need slave ships because we just walked right into it. Because Jerusalem and Israel is right next to each other. Right? That was the time with Joseph when he got us into Egypt because of part of the famine and stuff. So now, the Lord said we're going to be put into Egypt again with ships. That's why we're the only people that have been put in slavery with ships that have chains on our neck. Right? And then the Jewish people claim that they're the real Jews. And you can look it up, they've never been in slavery. They've never had chains on their neck, on their arms, and their feet. But we did. See, this is how you know that you're an Israelite. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. What are we going to see? Let me go to Galatians chapter 4. I think it's 30. What we're going to see. There we go. Thou shalt see it no more again. What is that? But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. The land of Jerusalem is our homeland. That's what we're not going to see again. So we got kicked out of our homeland. And then we've been brought to South America and America. Right? Which they call the land of the free. Nah, it's the land of slaves. Huh? So thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Bondmen means slave man, and the bondwoman means slave woman. And no man shall buy you. What does that mean? No man going to save us out of his captivity. Only the Savior, the ultimate Savior, which is H.O.I, Mashiach. Which is basically people saying about the second coming of Christ. That's the only way we're going to get saved out of his captivity. Right? So that's how you know you're an Israelite, because of these curses. Because we're still in captivity today, like it says in Baruch 3 and 8. Right? So let me go to, let me see. Probably go to Jeremiah. Let me see, Jeremiah 16. Yeah, Jeremiah 16 and 10. And it shall come to pass. Let's see right here. Yeah, from 10 to, I think 13. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, they shall say unto thee, wherefore hath the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us? Or what is our sin or iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Right? So we're going to ask like, damn, what the hell? The Lord did all this to us? Then shall I say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, save the Lord, pronounce all this great evil against us. Or Slakia. Then shall I say that our fathers have forsaken me, save the Lord, and have walked after other gods. See, we have walked after these other religions. Islam, Allah, Christianity is white Jesus Christ, Krishna, Buddha, right? And have served them and have worshipped them and have forsaken my law. See, so we worship and forsaken his laws, right? Let me hold this real quick and let me go to Exodus. It's part of the 10 Commandments. It's supposed to look what the Lord said. This is right there, number 3, ASAP, man. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You see, that's number 2. That's number 2 right there. The Lord said, don't have no other gods before me, right there. Right? That's basically number 1, basically. So the Lord said, have no other gods before me. But we just went and served these other gods. So the Lord said he put them curses on us, and have served them, and have worshipped, and have forsaken them, and have kept not my law. See, that's the key point. We got to keep the laws and the commandments, man. That's how we get out of this captivity. And ye have done worse than your fathers, for before ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. So we did worse than our forefathers, than our ancestors. Each generation we do worse than the previous generation. Why? Because once we start breaking the commandments, guess what? We're destroyed. So now what happens? Our parents is teaching their kids their customs now, which is the way of the heathens. And then their kids is growing up and teaching their kids. You see, so it's a never-ending cycle. It's a generational curse. That's why we got to break it by keeping the commandments. Right? Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers. What land is that? America, man, which was named Ahrayah before, where the northern kingdom came here first and discovered it. And there ye shall serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. See, so day and night we're going to be in these other religions. The Lord says he's not going to show us no favor. But by the grace of God right now, he's showing us favor by giving us his truth. And we're working up in these last days. So this is a beautiful time for us as Israelites to come back in this truth. So you blacks and Hispanics and American, y'all Israelites, y'all got to wake up and repent, man. You got to repent ASAP and come back to these commandments and laws, so we can get that salvation in the kingdom. No, let me finish. I'll go with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. So Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. You got to fear the Lord and keep the commandments. That's the point. For this is the whole duty of man. The Most High made it very simple, man. To fear the Lord. And once you fear the Lord, you get knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and you keep the commandments. 613. It's not just 10. But try to keep them to the best of your ability, you know. You're going to fall sometimes, but try it to the best of your ability. That's what the Lord just wants, man. He wants to see us try. So, praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This is Brother Ahrayah, H.O.I, my first lesson. You know, and Most High willing, come back with some more lessons, you know. Continue to make this a daily thing. So, y'all be safe. Let's continue to keep the commandments and let's endure and keep this faith until the kingdom come, you know. So, Shalom. Kwam Yashua. Let's keep pushing Israel. Come on.